Hi there, I'm Jordy. Welcome to Gun Tradition. Today we're talking about holsters for the Glock 20. Now if you've bought a Glock 20 recently, you've probably noticed there's a large lack of holster options and availability. Nobody carries holsters for the Glock 20 in store, so that leaves you to looking online at holsters, and it's hard to really know what you're looking at online. Well, I've tried a couple. I have two here today that I really think are fine options, and I'm going to talk about those. Now the holster that I'm carrying today is a We the People holster. It's actually a pretty cheap holster. It's just really basic construction. It's fairly thin. It's a Kydex hard plastic holster, and it has a mild level of retention to it. It kind of grips the pistols, just a little extra grip on the pistol. We the People holsters are generally quite cheap. They're under $40 for their basic holster. They're a made in the USA company, and they tend to get things shipped out fairly quickly. Even now, there still is a bit of a backlog in the whole industry, but they're still getting things shipped out fairly quickly. They're just a really basic, lightweight holster. The whole holster has 3 screws in it, or 3 little bolts, and each of those has a rubber spacer in it. There's a rubber spacer here, and there's 2 underneath underneath the hook. And what those let you do is tighten things down to get less of a tolerance in there, get more retention. If I have a really thick belt and some thick breeches, I would back those out, and it's still going to be tight because that rubber is still in there expanding and keeping it tight, but I'd back those out, and that takes some tension off of the clasp. If I tighten them down all the way, the clasp is going to have a little more tension on it. And the same thing with this one here. Tighten it down more. I got mine pretty tight. You tighten it down more and it pulls the holster a little tighter, which gives you a little snugger fit, a little more retention to the holster. They also come with a few different sized spacers, so you can kind of pick which one you want and then torque it down from there. And it is recommended to put Loctite, just blue Loctite, on those once you put them together and you get it to the retention level that you want. You get them snugged down as tight as you want them. Put a little Loctite there so they don't back out ever. We the People holsters are, like I said a couple times now, they're pretty cheap, they're lightweight, they're not bad on durability. I've carried this one for about 2 years. I actually did notice there's a little crack here in the corner. It must have been there for quite a while by the looks of it too. At least a month or two. But I've had this everyday carried for about 2 years, and for the price of it, I'm very happy with that. Also, they're lifetime guaranteed with a lifetime warranty, so I can just call the company and they'll send me a new shell. That's pretty neat. It's an inside the waistband holster, so all it does is it slides inside the waistband and clips around the waistline belt, and it holds pretty snug. I carry mine in the front, and that's why I chose this particular holster for the appendix style carry. I want a smaller, skinnier, not so wide holster. The wide ones just don't work well when I'm bending over a lot, and at work I'm bent over all day, crawling around floors as a carpet installer, so that didn't work. Say, if you're interested in guns and shooting, which I bet you are if you're watching my channel, you might look into checking out my website, guntradition.com. It's just a blog full of informative articles where I'm adding a couple articles every week on hunting and firearm related topics. The other type of holster I'm going to recommend for you guys is Alien Gear, the Alien Gear Cloak Tuck. Now I tried their original Cloak Tuck 1.0. I think they have 2 newer models of the Cloak Tuck holster from Alien Gear now, and they're all pretty good. It's a fairly cheap, fairly affordable holster, but it's definitely a good step above We the People just in durability and ruggedness, and in it's tough design. It's well built and toughly built, especially for around the $50 price tag. Now these are more of a paddle style holster. It's real wide. It's got this wide on the back. It can come in leather or Kydex on the back. I prefer leather because I want that flex. I am very active at my job, and I need that flex. It's also 2 clips. It clips on the belt loop in 2 places. Let me slide this in here. There, just like that. Now the Cloak Tuck name is because, well, it hides so very well, and I can actually tuck a shirt in around it with the style of clips they have here. The clips show, but the whole holster itself doesn't. I can still have a shirt tucked in and have that tucked look if that's what you need. My only gripe against the Cloak Tuck was that it's too wide, which really I thought was going to be great, and that's why I bought the Alien Gear Cloak Tuck holster. It's so wide, it's got two nice wide anchor points, so the pistol never wiggles and shucks left to right as I move. Versus my We the People holster moves around like this quite a bit. It's only a single hook, and so it wiggles a lot as I move. This one doesn't move at all as your body moves around, but for me, I couldn't work with that. I'm too active in my job, bending over a lot, working on my knees, and that bending all the time put too much pry on, well, first on my side. I carried it on the side at first, and that pry on the side was just a bit much all the time. So then I tried it on the front, and just this big large holster bending over into it, it was just a bit too much. I did work on getting used to it, and after a month I was getting there. But with that much bending force, carrying it right in the front here, and being bent over most all day at work, well, that ended up cracking the plastic here quite severely after about 3 or 4 months. Now, Alien Gear does have a lifetime warranty on all their parts, so I emailed the company and they sent me out a new plastic shell. I put it back on the holster here, but I ended up getting a different holster. I went with the We the People holster just because it's affordable and it's skinny and small. It does only have one locking point to it where it locks on the belt, so it does do this a bit more. It has some shucking around to it, which means I have to really pay attention to where the position of the handle is if I was going to grab it and pull it out. It also means that it's going to tend to show just a little bit more. I'm not going to be able to hide the shape of that handle sticking out quite so easily, because it's going to have a tendency to move kind of from this position to this position. It's going to wiggle a little bit. That's not all bad though. My brother carries the same holster for a smaller pistol. He has a Taurus, and he loves this holster. He got it, I think he's got the American flag print. They have a few different colors, but it's a cheap holster that does work pretty well. The Alien Gear is very durable, especially for the price tag. You have the rubber washers underneath all of the anchor points on this too. Two here, one on there. You got those rubber spacers. They come with multiple sizes of spacers too, so you can get thick to thin, and you can crank them down on that rubber to get this holster to come in skinnier. It gives you varying levels and degrees of retention for whatever best suits your body and your preferred draw style. If you liked this video, click the like button, look around for more good information, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye now.